Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show here, ladies and gentlemen, with the champ. Now listen, people, UFC Paris. Some great fights, but a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White's new deal, the $7.7 billion deal, ladies and gentlemen, is to sell the clam fights, to porno sites, ladies and gentlemen. And what a better place to start out with that is in France, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see the prelims, ladies and gentlemen? Hughes versus Bannon. That almost got the UFC banned, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that was a porno site video if I ever seen one, ladies and gentlemen. It was ruffling the feathers of the Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. It was hot, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White pushing the sex, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's why he brought Nina Drama in, ladies and gentlemen. And then he has Nina Drama roll around with fighters and turn it sexual. So when you see two men fighting, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new objective to the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen the Nina Drama and the Laura Sanko? Them rolling around together, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Laura Sanko. This is Nina Drama talking showerhead. Laura Sanko, when you was in Denver and you spilled that beer on your chin, I just wanted to lick it off there. Laura Sanko, you left that chin in the ring a lot there, Laura Sanko. That's why you're sitting in the commentary seat over there. You had to go find your chin over there in the commentator seat, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's today's version of the UFC Paris recap, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, champ?
Man, I'm doing well, but to be honest, I wasn't that impressed by the fights. There was a lot of porn in the prelims, a lot of sex, and then there was only one decision. I like people who can make decisions. You know what I mean? Decisive people.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a whole lot of that last night.
Yeah. You don't get to see like people's intelligence and everything.
Nah. Wow.
We need to see.
Yeah. You don't even know how the fights were scored. It's BS. I'm getting ready for the porn, okay? Because I know it's coming, and when there's too much
when there's too much porn.
When there's too much porn, PFL is going to take over, okay? Francis Ngannou is coming back.
Yeah. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey, so the Simon Feck Show, champ. The Simon Feck Show starts out 4 high, ladies and gentlemen. 4 high.
Oh.
We're already at 2 high, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. That's crazy. We're blowing up. Blowing up. And it's because we're talking about prelim porn.
Yeah. I mean,
you know?
The average MMA fighter just can't handle the logistics of MMA porn, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's the new thing on the new horizon. Dana White, here he is, right next to Moss, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White is on the horizon. Or is it, what is it? Like he's on the, what is it? He's out
rising.
He's out there in frontier land, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White bringing sex. That's why they brought Nina Drama in for the sex. Trying to make MMA sexual, ladies and gentlemen. It kind of confuses people when they see two men out there, grappling.
That's it, because now when I'm watching two guys grappling on the prelims, I'm like, what is this that I'm feeling right now? I'm very confused, and I wish it would go back to not being porn, but everything is porn nowadays,
Yeah, that's it. Dana White, let me get Dana White again. Dana White, you started this. We were watching MMA just fine. You brought Nina Drama in, going around, grappling, rolling around on the mat with fighters, commentators, Lorosenko. You've turned this sexual now. And now people are having a hard time watching two men grapple. Like Hamza, the blanket, and DDP. That was a hot fight.
Yeah, that was very hot. The one thing that I think that fight could have benefited from is more Vaseline. Like if the ref had just been, while they were on the ground, the ref had come in and said, guys, just let me like spread this Vaseline on you. Just slide around on the floor. That would have made that fight of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. And did you see the Hardwick fight? The Hardwick fight. He was losing weight on the way out. They had to Vaseline his ass, and he slid out like he was on a sled. Did you see that?
I did, yeah. He slid like a penguin slides down an icy hill, He slid.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like Eddie Murphy in the movie Trading Places. But, yeah, so he was losing weight on the way out. Now, listen, I don't know if you know it, but Hardwick was one of those guys that grabbed the microphone at a press conference and asked if he could be a UFC fighter. Well, that's why Dana White, let me get Dana White again. Dana White, that's why you don't get fighters from press conferences, Dana White. Do you see that? Listen, if Hardwick had a third leg, he could have been standing on that leg. But obviously, Hardwick doesn't have a third leg, Dana White.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if they're going to do that, why not just put John Morgan in there? They need fresh talent, heavyweight division. Put him in there with Aspinall. See how he gets on. I think Tom Aspinall would beat John Morgan, and probably without needing it to go to a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. They should have John Morgan. That way Dana White can save money, Yeah. So Dana White, you can save money. You can have John Morgan commentate his own fight against Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
It's like double duty.
Yeah. And they can still have him asking the first question in the press conference, even though he's got like a broken orbital bone and his jaw is wired shut. But he can just kind of like grunt.
Yeah. There you go again. You could save room that way, right?
Yeah.
You have John Morgan interview himself as a fighter, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And imagine the Vaseline sponsorship on that one. When John Morgan is losing weight, Vaseline himself, his whole body up in Vaseline, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that would prove the Vaseline weight loss.
Yep. And Kelvin Gastelum, he's been crying out for recognition on this Vaseline idea, because obviously he combines it with the snail costume, and he says that the snail costume is integral to the weight loss process. But it seems like other fighters are just using the Vaseline by itself, and they're still having lots of success with it. So it's really interesting how the fight game's evolving.
Yeah, we're bringing something to you that the general public, the casuals, just do not know about the Vaseline weight cut, ladies and gentlemen. And also, when the champ brought up the snail suit, it made me, Simon Feck, the Black Crow, kind of hungry. But, because I eat snails, ladies and gentlemen, and clams, ladies and gentlemen.
But only when you're in Paris, France.
And then also, I mean, you got like Dennis Shakuratov. I have advice. Listen to me. I have advice. Here's Dennis Shakuratov. I don't know if you can see it over there in that camera, but Dennis Shakuratov. If I got advice for you, if you would just use, excuse me, Dennis Shakuratov, Simon Feck has some advice for you. If you would just lose the Tov off the end of your name and lose the Dennis too and just be Secura, that would be hot.
Yeah.
Just let you know there, Dennis. Dennis, you missed the train, Dennis. Simon Feck has some big news to share with you later, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Dennis Shakuratov.
I would like to see Dennis dressed up like Shakira in one of her music videos. I think that would be hot.
That's right. Dennis Shakuratov in a Shakira video.
Yeah.
That would be hot. That would be hot, except for Dennis would be in it,
Yeah. But he could be in the background wearing Joe Pyfer's jockstrap. And I have news this week about an update on the Joe Pyfer jockstrap situation, by the way. I can give it to you now.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
Okay. So Joe Pyfer, he found out that there was an elevated, disproportionate interest in his jockstrap compared to other UFC fighters' jockstraps. People wanted Joe Pyfer's jockstrap even more than Laura Sanko's, which is interesting. And now he's taken it off the market. He's going to wear it at his upcoming fight. I think he fights in 2 weeks. And he's going to put it back on the market. So you're getting twice as much Joe Pyfer. But that means that the price is going to skyrocket. And we need everyone watching this show to go to GoFundMe and give us all the money in your bank account so that we can bid for this jockstrap.
That's right. The Simon Feck Show is trying to secure a Joe Pyfer jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
But there has been backlash, ladies and gentlemen. The backlash is coming from a source that you wouldn't think it's coming from. It's coming from people that sell Philly cheesesteaks, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The people that sell Philly cheesesteaks are having a drop in sales, ladies and gentlemen, as the Joe Pyfer jockstraps are being distributed, ladies and gentlemen. Because all they have to do is sniff Joe Pyfer's jockstrap and they get what they're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. A Philly cheesesteak, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
Yeah. And Joe Pyfer, he knows he has this effect on, not just on people, but on the people who are involved in the supply chains for Philly cheesesteaks. It's $1 billion industry, and one man is going to destroy it all because he wants to get the most money for his jockstrap.
That's right. It's America's jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. When you think of the White House, you think of our president, you think of United States of America, you think of Joe Pyfer's jockstrap from the great Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen, where the Liberty Bell stands, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. There's very few things in America more patriotic than Joe Pyfer's jockstrap. It's a huge part of the country.
That's right. Who wouldn't want a Joe Pyfer jockstrap, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
That's right. You know, a lot of these YouTubers, they put up that 100,000 subscriber push button little display. Simon Feck wants Joe Pyfer's jockstrap right back here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last time, the last time we've seen the Joe Pyfer jockstrap, the current bid was $550. You know what it is today?
Did you look? Tell me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Pyfer jockstrap current bid right now is $2,300.75, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, if you're watching, give us all your money. If your mum or dad have a credit card, get it off them, okay? Say, I need this, okay? There's people in the world who need to, communally possess Joe Pyfer's jockstrap.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know it, but Western, our moderator, ladies and gentlemen, Western got yelled at by Musical MMA. Yeah, that's right, for being negative. So Western goes in, the Musical MMA guy, the guy you think that would be curious to know if his sound is good. So Western says, hey, your audio's not good. And he got yelled at, ladies and gentlemen. So listen here, Musical MMA. Musical MMA, you want to put Simon Feck in your videos. That you're 89% done with the MMA Rigo video. Listen, you better start treating Western better over there, Musical. That's right. We got to watch out for our kind over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I just ask a question, by the way? Is Ash coming on today, or is he going to be like 90 minutes late again?
Yeah, he's probably going to be late, I guess. Maybe that's his character. So
maybe, yeah.
So he came on the Discord, and we'll talk about the Discord in a little bit. But he came on the Discord maybe 9.5 hours before the Simon Feck show was to go live. And I said, see you in 9.5 hours.
And he's fast asleep. So that's good.
That's right. Yeah. He did sound like he was sleeping still when he was on the show last time. I don't know.
It's crazy because he seems like such a professional guy as well. I'm just surprised that he would do this 2 weeks in a row. But
that's right.
Hopefully he comes in. Tell me about the Discord, though. I want to join this Discord.
Okay, so there's a problem with the Discord because Simon Feck has a bird brain, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So Simon Feck thought he had the Discord set up, but he didn't. And then last night, Simon Feck did something extra, and he thought he had it set up, and he didn't. So, anyways, you need to find it. It's Simon Feck, no space.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could just be friends. And I'm trying to set up a general area, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to go on YouTube. I know we're on YouTube right now, ladies and gentlemen, and Kick, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to have to go on YouTube and find out how to, do the Discord thing and set it up. But we got a little area, huh?
That comment. Someone just came in the chat and said, what the fuck is this goth shit?
Let me see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Simon Feck from The Cure, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a roadie for The Cure. They make us dress up like this, even though we're a roadie, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a roadie for The Cure for at least 89 years, ladies and gentlemen. The Cure is old as time itself. Almost as old as the internet, where Moss from the MMA holes invented the internet, ladies and gentlemen. And the Clown Show Live guy, whatever his name is, Clown or Clown All, whatever, he invented MMA drama. So anyways, the cure, you talk about goth. Do you know that goth started in Gothenburg?
Is that right?
That's right. You think about Gothenburg, right? Goth.
Yeah.
I've been to Göteborg, ladies and gentlemen. So listen. We're starting to, even though the subs don't really reflect it, people are talking about the Simon Feck Show all over the place, right? So you got like Smokey. Somebody's asking Smokey something, and Smokey says, it's not meant to be, excuse me. Smokey was saying about the Simon Feck Show, it's not meant to be understood. It's meant to be enjoyed. On the Clown Show, listen to me, champ. On the Clown Show 2 or 3 nights ago, okay? It's not like Simon Feck was in there. 2 or 3 nights ago, they talked. I have the video. They talked about the Simon Feck Show for 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Clown, Giuliani, and a guy named Cam Hassel from New Zealand. The 3 of them talked about the Simon Feck Show. I got the video.
Nice.
It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes long. The stream was like 12 hours long. I just happened to hear Simon Feck. I'm skipping through it. I happened to hear Simon Feck. They might have talked about the Simon Feck Show some other times too, but
Cool. I just want to give you a heads up. I am never doing a fucking 12-hour stream like this. That's insanity.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have my own. I don't know about you, but I have my own personal. It's 3 hours tops, like that. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 high, ladies and gentlemen. 5 high, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Simon Feck Show's going places, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a thing. There's bad comments and good comments in the chat, okay? And people think when they put bad comments, it's like hurting the Simon Feck Show. Like it's hurting the channel. Well, they don't say anything bad about you, but when they're hurting the ass, okay? Put all the bad comments you want. Matter of fact, start spamming bad comments. Let's go. Put stuff in the chat.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody would comment. Yeah, nobody would comment unless it's bad comments. Let me put in a WTF. Who cares? Put all the WTF you want. Like that's hurting me.
I think I suspect that helps us somewhat in terms of visibility.
Of course it does. Now I gotta tell. We got 5 people high. I gotta tell everybody. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. A lot of people they're not grasping that Simon Feck, I work in the Apex. Nobody's grasping that. But okay. So Bruce Buffer, when he announces the main event, he used to get like a 4-inch vertical when jump up and get a 4-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Through the years, I've been noticing his vertical gets less and less. He had a 1/4-inch vertical, 1/4 of an inch vertical.
Oh yeah.
Recently. So I put out a couple videos. Well, the Simon Feck Show did. I put a couple videos out, and I'm not kidding you. These people see our videos. Bruce Buffer doesn't even attempt to get a vertical after he's seen the sound effect videos, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just give it up, Bruce Buffer. Bruce Buffer's a nice guy, unless you know him.
Oh shit! Tell me more about
How do you
that.
like that? How'd you
You're
like that
anonymous.
comment?
Well, I need more. Tell me more about Bruce Buffer. Is he an asshole?
Okay, so when you go in the Apex, or like say, yeah, I go to T-Mobile, and then anywhere else that the the UFC fights are, I see Dana White. I see Dana White not all the time, but let's say often. Now, who are the big stars in the UFC? So you basically got three. Now, like DC, he's a big star, but I'm talking about big. So you got Dana White, Bruce Buffer, and I forgot who's the third one. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Who do you think? He's a big YouTuber.
Paddy?
More Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so now that I'm not good with names. Obviously, I've been seeing these guys for years. Oh, and we got to add. Well, if we're talking about who's an asshole and who isn't, the doctor, the head doctor, is an asshole. But okay, so
is he really?
Oh, yeah, Dr. Davidson. Yeah,
right.
So somebody told Davidson, Jeff Davidson, something about my past, and it was about when me and the Bird split up for like 4 months or something like that.
Okay.
So the doctor thinks he knows how I should have handled it, and this and that and everything. And every time I see him, he's got to tell me that was 12 years ago. I'm serious.
And he still talks about it.
Yeah. So I did it. We got to get back to Buffer, but so I did a video on Dr. Davidson, and it was early on. I got to go through the whole story. So I went to his. I'm not going to do it right now. It's a long one. I went to his 50th birthday party, and everybody was there, right? But that's a big story. Dr. Davidson is he's a 51-year-old baby. I went to his 50th birthday party. All right, so let's get back to the original one, right? Okay. So you go in the Apex, you go in T-Mobile, you go in all the other UFC events. There's 3 huge stars.
Yep.
You got Dana White, Joe Rogan, and Bruce Buffer. Now, I see Dana White often. You barely see Bruce Buffer.
Okay.
One person you don't see, because he gets even more special treatment, is Joe Rogan. I've been going in the Apex, let's say, I've been hired. That's the best way to put it. Let's see. I subcontract for the UFC for years.
Yeah.
They pay for my services.
Okay.
For years. I have never met Joe Rogan. I have been 15 feet away from the guy dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Joe Rogan says that he is a man of the people. When he does his comedy show, he likes to talk to people. He's a man of the people. Joe Rogan is a fucking liar, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't a man of the people. He can't even talk to the people that... Hey, I'm surprised he talks to DC when they're commenting. Joe Rogan is an ass, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he really?
And Bruce Buffer is right behind him. Bruce Buffer puts on a nice face and everything, but he thinks he's so big and bad that he makes $100,000 per pay-per-view event. $100,000, and he can't even get a vertical, ladies and gentlemen.
But I was watching. Do you know Andrew Callahan from Channel 5 News? Or he used to have a channel called All Gas No Breaks.
Okay, yeah.
He went to a comedy show, and it was one that Joe Rogan was organizing at that comedy club he's got, and one of Joe Rogan's friends let Andrew in or something, and he said that the Joe Rogan came through and started tearing into some staffer about Andrew Callahan being backstage, like, why the fuck is this guy here? What the fuck is wrong with you? Or something like that, He was like really mean to this person, apparently, for letting Andrew Callahan backstage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do understand a lot of it, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know all the logistics or whatever to that one there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me ask you.
So anyway,
sorry to jump in. What's Hunter Campbell like?
Yeah, I don't really talk to him either, but I mean I could. So I don't. Maybe I'm not going to call him an asshole because I don't really care to talk to him. So I mean,
okay.
I don't even see the guy around actually. So
plus, he looks like he murders people in his spare time. So
right.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about the early stoppages? I personally don't think there was, but I was watching Moss from the MMA Holes, and he was talking about like early stoppages. But you do know it was in France, right? And France is known. They don't want violence. They want love. That's why they have the prelims, the porno prelims, ladies and gentlemen. But did you see the one fight? The one fight, Bruce Buffer wasn't even done announcing the fighters, and they stopped the fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there will be no fight. There will be no fight.
Yep, that's right.
Only love.
That's right. It was too violent. I mean, they were looking at each other very mean like that, holding the cage, getting ready to fight. They're like, I don't know what it was, but they stopped the fight early. I mean, Bruce Buffer was still announcing them, and they stopped the fight, ladies and gentlemen.
And then the referee said, both of you kiss or you owe me $10 each. And I don't think that's right either.
That's right. I was paying attention to Michael Bisping, right? Because we got a new character coming up, Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping's watching the fight. I swear, like the fight's this way. Like he's not looking like this. He's looking like this, right? And then he's got to turn to Gooden and the redheaded guy, right? He's watching the fight. I don't know. Does Michael Bisping have a good eye? Like some people have a good eye. I mean, how can you have a good eye? Well, you got a bad eye, but all right. So Michael Bisping's watching the fight and commentating from his good eye, right? And he's like this. Then he's got to turn all the way over here.
Yeah, but that's because he's blind in one eye. I think that's understandable. That.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, I had a hard time getting over the refs stopping the fight before they even started. But the Paris crowd. Now this is Simon Feck being straight up, right? The Paris crowd, they got there early. Most of the time, I mean, the people don't even get there till the fight right before, say, like the main card. No. The people were by the second fight. The people were there. The people were singing their national anthem a couple different times.
No.
That crowd.
I disagree. I thought the crowd were too quiet. I really did. I didn't think there were a few people singing, but the UFC, they position their microphones to pick that up, so it makes it sound like the whole crowd singing. But it was very calm in the crowd. Not people didn't seem interested enough to be there. I wouldn't go back to France for 15 or 20 years if I was Dana White.
Yeah, that's right. So the UFC got that venue. They didn't have to pay any money to try. Excuse me. They didn't have to pay any money, the UFC, to rent that venue. If they were just to make the French people look good, then they would get free rent. So they were pumping up the crowd through the speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
This is just something that's happening more and more often, because I was watching the fights 2 weeks ago and I was like, this is weird, because after Charles Johnson won his fight against Loner Kavanagh, he starts speaking in Chinese. And then I look at the crowd and it's mostly Chinese people. And I'm thinking, hang on a second. I think this event is in China, not America. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. The UFC, I mean, it's like the moon landing, ladies and gentlemen. The UFC, a lot of times they'll just take old footage from somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen, just stick it in there and make it look good, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. A lot of the times,
what do you think?
A lot of the times, the crowd, they're looking at.
People are going to go to a fight.
Sorry. Okay, go.
No, listen. The side effect doesn't have anything to say. I was going to get ready to go to the chat. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, a lot of the times when you think you're watching a fight, there's actually no one in the cage. It's just a crowd of people who have been told, react this way, react that way, and we'll put the fighters in later. And the reason they do this is because they give the people in the crowd Groupon tickets. So the UFC has a partnership with Groupon. Groupon have paid more money to the UFC than Paramount Plus. And if you pay attention, you'll see that it's all just green screen next time you watch UFC.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. So look, we got a special guest that's going to be coming on here in a little bit. Let's go through a little bit of the chat, and then have our special guest on, and then you see the champ. The champ has some great scoops coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So stick with us. We got some good stuff coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just go through the chat here real quick. We got 5 high in here, ladies and gentlemen. We're also streaming 2 other places, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we could be sitting at 20 high right now. We just don't even know it, ladies and gentlemen. So right here it says from MMA UFC, and if you look, that thumbnail, it looks like the MMA Guru to me.
It is.
Is it? Wow. Champ and the Ash make sense, but who in the feck is that other guy? Whoa, listen here. If this is the MMA Guru, listen, who is Simon Feck? You're soon about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck has some big news, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to release today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
A little bit later, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this news that you've told me, or is this like legit a big surprise?
I didn't hear what you said.
Have you told me what this news is, or is this going to be a surprise to me as well?
No, it's a surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
The other guy took out a second mortgage on a house so that you could have free MMA content on Sunday, kid. Yeah, that's correct. You know, I hear that a lot about the TVs, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, these aren't big TVs. I'm a black crow, ladies and gentlemen, living in a birdhouse up in a tree, ladies and gentlemen. A little tiny birdhouse to you guys is like this big. These are little tiny TVs. These are like a little monitor that would be in your car, ladies and gentlemen. And got them at a secondhand store. So the other day, the clown show live for an hour and 15 minutes talking about the Simon Thek show. And then Giuliani, Argentini, or whatever his stupid name is, has to go on there and say, hey, Thek, how much is your second mortgage that you took out for buying all those TVs?
Someone else mentioned that, and it's a total coincidence that I said that as well, because I had no idea this had happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get ladies and gentlemen a lot, right? And then we get like, what the fuck is this? Excuse me, what the fuck is this? And, you know, and stupid stuff like that. And then, and, you know, and psycho and all that stuff. And then the third one is about all the TVs in the back, okay? This TV over to my right-hand side, somebody gave it to me, right? This TV behind right here, I can't remember. Simon Thek might own, you know, like real estate property, you know, like rentals. And then this one over here, I forget about that. But basically, it's under $200. They're used TVs, or they were just in the apartment when the people laughed and things like that, okay? That's about all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just wondering what the I'm wondering what the inception was for the show when you were like, okay, so and you're talking to your better half about it, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to need to like commandeer a room in the fucking house so that I can fill it with TVs and wear a bird mask and just like shout about MMA for several hours a week.
Well, I mean, champ, I mean, you're assuming like everybody else that this is a mask. This is my face. I'm a bird. I'm in a birdhouse. Okay.
I forgot.
And how many birdhouses have you seen that have like multiple rooms? This is just one room. I kicked that bird out. She's out on the limb right now, ladies and gentlemen. She's out there shivering and shaking and everything like that. Okay. That's why I like to have long streams, so I can be void of the bird, ladies and gentlemen. She sleeps on a broken TV, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let me finish up this comment, and we got to get rolling here because we got like 9 minutes, and we're bringing on a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't see him in the backstage. He was here earlier, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Giuliani, the guy that supposedly has a McLaurin, right? People with money, because I hang around people with money like that. If you have a McLaurin, you're pretty much, when you see somebody with that's 4 TVs. It's 4 TVs. If you see somebody with 4 TVs, you're not really thinking about how much 4 TVs cost. That's why, Giuliani, you need to keep your mouth shut. Okay? If you're going to go around telling people you have a McLaurin and you're worried about somebody having 4 TVs and how much they cost, you don't have a McLaurin. And then you're talking about me, talking about you. I see you talking about me. That's why the Simon Thek show is going places, ladies and gentlemen. We are 5 high, ladies and gentlemen. What's the next one?
That's the same comment. Did you watch MMA yesterday? Not enough decisions. Why are they in such a rush? That's the problem with the next generation. That's just me. Same one. That's funny, champ. 3 days ago on the Clown Show Live, Giuliano, Argenti, and Clown were talking about Feck, and Argenti said, "Hey Feck, how much was the second mortgage for all those TVs?"
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Giuliani, come on the show, big guy. Why don't you come on the show? And I'll let you know how much the TVs cost. How much was your McLaurin? Okay, where's the pictures? Oh, by the way, Giuliani doesn't have any pictures of him in his McLaurin. I mean, you can't even afford to rent a McLaurin to get some pictures, and then bamboozle people. Listen, Giuliani, you broke dick. Start some different kind of lives, dude. It's stupid. You got a $22 jacket. You got a ceiling fan that's missing 2 blades. Somebody that owns a McLaurin doesn't have a ceiling fan that's missing 2 blades. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's me. I can skip that. That's me saying, "I'll be honest with you, I know very little about Simon. Even during the off-air stuff, he keeps the mask on and refuses to tell me anything about his life."
Yeah, well, that sound effect sounds like a cock, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I mean, who does Simon Feck think he is? Huh? Simon Feck's like one of the. He's like what in England? He sounds like he's from England, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got?
For all I know, he's scavenging the shit at the dump and repairing it at home for his studio. Okay.
Who is that? You?
Yeah, that's me.
Nice.
That's awesome. The show is getting talked about on Clown Show Live, though. And it really is.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Here we got West Ghost in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
West Ghost. Let's go, Wes.
Howdy ho and howdy ho. Ladies and gentlemen, West Ghost in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
That's me talking to Wes. Yo, how you doing? Yeah.
Same comment?
Yeah. When I type into StreamYard, sometimes it comes up twice on this. Yo, champ, doing well, rolling a doobie, eating ice cream. How are you, brother? So this is just us going back and forth.
Yeah. Rolling a doobie and, eating ice cream. I mean...
That's exactly what I would expect from someone who watches this show. All right. Nice, man. Sounds like a good Sunday. I'm fucking just gonna grab a sandwich. This is just chit chat.
Did you go to the shops today, champ?
I did go to the shops today. Yeah, the one across the road where the guy with like missing teeth sometimes asks me to buy cigarettes for him because he's banned from the store. Wes says, "Ah man, how I miss a tomato and cheese sandwich. My wife hates tomatoes, so I've not had it in a long time." What's the time there in Scotland? So Wes Ghost's wife has a strict no tomato rule, and she's let him know that if he ever brings a tomato into the house, he's fucked, basically.
Well, it's kind of like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall likes to fight tomatoes, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes the tomatoes that Tom Aspinall fights are actually still in the can So Tom Aspinall likes to fight tomatoes in the can, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Hey, Tom Aspinall. Hey, look. Oh, you're the big champion. Oh, I'm going to go to UFC Paris. Why don't you start training? Yeah, hey. Oh, and I'm Tom Aspinall. I'm Tom Aspinall. I'm going to fight all the time. Well, why don't you already line up your second fight from now?
Yep.
How long is it going to be after this next fight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. John Jones won't fight. If I'm there, I'll be fighting 4 times a year. Well, you better start lining it up.
There's plenty of people Tom Aspinall could fight, and here's one fight that no one's talking about that I would be very curious to see. Tom Aspinall versus Alexa Grasso. It's an interesting fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be hot, right? So they're down grappling, and then Tom Aspinall puts Grasso's foot in his mouth and starts sucking on them toes, ladies and gentlemen. That would be hot, ladies and gentlemen. Except for Tom Aspinall would be in the video.
Yeah.
That's another sex thing that Dana White is trying to throw down your throat, ladies and gentlemen. It's the toes of the Grasso, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Simon, listen to this. Simon Feck went to a special event, ladies and gentlemen. It was UFC Noche, right? And the media had a special event all to themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And then Grasso showed up with her belt and everything like that, and she had open-toed shoes on, and these media guys were taking their cameras because it was kind of new right back then, right? And they were all taking their cameras, and you could see they were going down to her feet and back up. They were trying to get, I don't know if they're trying to make money off of it or what. But I mean, I'm being dead serious. These media guys were videoing her feet as she's like giving an interview, because she was standing up like in this little corner area. It was a railing. It was outside, and then on the inside was the food and the free drinks and everything like that. And then the background behind Grasso was a good view. There was like a golf course or something. I don't know. It was at the Wynn, the WYNN Hotel. Now, only Simon Feck would know this, ladies and gentlemen.
That's that's kind of disappointing if that's how the press are treating her. I'm sure she has lovely feet, but it seems a bit obnoxious.
Grasso's feet are nasty, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, unless she was like dancing in, like tomatoes and making like ketchup with them or something, that would be hot, ladies and gentlemen. So, what you need is a tomato box to stash them in. Find a way, bro. For generations, men hid dirty mags from their wives. You can hide some tomatoes. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. That's from the champ, ladies and gentlemen.
Champ.
Listen, Logan. If you're out there, you got to hit the link. Come on the show.
Yeah.
It's 2:14 p.m. here. Where are you at? Says the champ. And the champ is talking to a guy that is right down the road from the DDP gym, ladies and gentlemen. Where do you think he's at, champ?
Yeah. Well, he told me he's in yeah.
There you go. West Coast, ladies and gentlemen. So I didn't even know who West Coast. I didn't know who West Coast is. West Coast is a famous musician, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's me asking if he called DDP's gym.
Right. Okay. So I was looking from here on you know, and I think he didn't call. But yeah,
No.
this is good right here, champ. We come in here, and then we put stuff in here and talk to people. You can talk to people all you want on here. When I said let's talk about the Discord on the show, I just meant I put it in there so we'll talk about it. That's all. Yeah, this is good coming in here early.
Yeah.
The time is 15:14. Not much of a difference. I still don't see Logan, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, ladies and gentlemen. But I got some big news, and then we're going to get to champ stuff.
Yeah. So
what is
he's saying he still has to get to the call to call DDP's gym, but work has been chaotic, and he forgot what he's actually to say when he calls the gym. So we'll give you a script, Wes Ghost.
Okay. So yeah. So what you do, West Ghost, there's a live video, and then there's a video. Go to the live video. No, wait a minute. I don't know. Go to both of them, and then they're time stamped in there. So West Coast, go to the live video last week. Go to the video from last week, and then look in the transcripts. Yeah, there you go.
Waiting to hear what this is, man. You said you've got big news to share.
Okay, yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show has some big news that they can't disclose to you. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, people come to the Simon Feck Show, and they put in comments. They say, oh, you know, the Simon Feck Show is going to go nowhere. Well, the Simon Feck Show was put together. It was put together because of the MMA Guru, okay? And Simon Feck works in the Apex. So Simon Feck sort of has to be under, you know, Simon Feck can't be revealed. Now, maybe somebody at the Apex put Simon Feck up to what Simon Feck is up to, ladies and gentlemen. But people say the Simon Feck Show is going nowhere. Well, listen, Simon Feck knows what he's doing. Simon Feck has another big channel somewhere else, okay? I'm no rookie to this, okay? Now, Simon Feck Show just landed a big-time meeting with a big-time entity, like big. And we're not talking about just a big entity. We're talking about a big entity that has its claws into 3 other big entities, ladies and gentlemen. That the Simon Feck character also has the same grip. But we haven't added the Simon Feck Show to this entity that has a grip into these 3 entities. Next week you'll get your answer, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's the big news. Big news. The Simon Feck Show is not going to sit. The Simon Feck Show is not going to sit at a small channel for much longer, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see. Big stuff coming, ladies and gentlemen. You got anything to add to that or no? Champ?
No, I'm looking forward to hearing the results of this meeting with this entity. Right, that's me saying, look who it is. This is when you came into the chat. Wes was happy to see you. That's me saying Feckster.
Yeah, the Feckster.
Yeah. Your message about the Discord. We need Champ and Wes in there.
Yeah, so the Simon Feck Discord, I'm gonna have to get on it in the next couple days, but Simon Feck, I have to do it, make a couple bullet points and everything for the big meeting coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So the Discord might take it, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And then we have Kanato. Kanato is already doing memes, memes for the Simon Feck show and such like that. So the Discord so far is small, but basically it's the Simon Feck show. But Simon Feck doesn't know how to set it up. Does anybody know how to set up the Discord? All I have is like private messages to each other.
I think I might be able to help you with that. We'll talk about it after the show.
All right, very good. West Coast, send link, Mr. Feck, or what do you search to find the Discord? It's Simon Feck with no space. Because the one there was a space one or something else was already taken. Okay. Some stupid idiot in a movie. Yeah, like, I don't know, John Travolta or I don't know who it is. Somebody in a stupid movie had to take the name Simon Feck. So it was already taken by some stupid character in some stupid movie.
Well, when the show starts doing well enough and there's enough ad money, we can probably sue that person into bankruptcy.
Yeah, because it was a stupid movie anyways.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to have my name Simon Feck attached to a stupid movie. So, maybe no, it was that guy. It was that Scientologist guy from Arkansas.
Danny Masterson?
And not the. No, I don't know. I don't know his name. It's the guy that bounced on the couch.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Tom Cruise. And there was a character in the movie. His name was Simon Feck. It's embarrassing. Man, yeah, and then why don't you just have the guy in the movie? Why don't you just have the guy in the movie use his real name? Why do people have to hide their identities in movies? Why is that guy Simon Feck? Because we know his name's not Simon Feck. I hate when people hide their identity. Why do people go around hiding their identity?
Okay, so that's just you talking about the Discord. Ladies and gentlemen,
worst nightmare. Yep, I seen him last night. I seen him last night for just a split second in the MMA holes, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my favorite comment so far.
I think we still got Wick's son with us.
Really?
Hey, is Wick's son? Listen, hey, Wick's son, are you the fighter Hard Wick? The guy with 3 legs and should have used his 3rd leg last night. Are you his son? Are you Hardwick, the UFC fighter that got his legs blown out last night's son? Aspinall's all torso says Wick son. Go ahead, champ.
Yeah, that's a good comment. I like this one. Yeah, he's all torso, and that's just his body type. I respect it, but Cyril Gann's got a much more evenly distributed body anatomy, and that's going to be the key to Cyril Gann becoming the heavyweight champ. Gann mogged Aspinall in the face-off. Again, he knows he's got the more proportionate anatomy. That's going to be huge. Who do you think has more BDE, Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane?
Yeah, I don't know. I think hand in hand, you know. I mean, that's the way fighting's going anyways nowadays.
Yeah.
It's all just hand in hand sexual shit.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's worst nightmare. Herb Dean early stoppage on the Hardy Hardwick fight. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Herb Dean, let it play out. Let it play out, Herb Dean. That was ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's like it was gonna be like written like a movie. It was like a movie, and you ruined it, Herb Dean. Herb Dean, let him play and beg for his life. You ruined the moment, Herb Dean.
I still think he could have won the match because if he had Vaseline on his stomach, he wouldn't even need his legs. He could just slide around on his stomach and grab the ankles. You know, he'd be an ankle grabber. That's how you win fights these days. Grab the ankles.
I mean, Hardwick was down like the Monty Python when they're cutting the guy's arms off, and cutting his legs off, and the guy was still talking and everything. I mean, how do you know Hardwick wasn't just playing like cat and mouse? He was down there waiting for him to come down and get him. And Herb Dean has to stop the fight. By the way, Herb Dean, your wife is hot. I've been out to dinner with Herb Dean and his wife a lot of times. Yeah, that's right. The referees and the judges, we all go out drinking together, ladies and gentlemen. And then Herb Dean brings his wife with him. This hot baby. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, right here, we have Herb Dean's wife, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Herb Dean's wife likes to hang out with Simon Feck. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Herb Dean's wife likes to hang out with Simon Feck during the fights, ladies. That's right, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Herb Dean's hot wife likes to hang out with Simon Feck during the fights. And before the fights. Like we all go out drinking like the day before. And then after the fights, we like to go out drinking. And we try our best not to invite Dan Merculati. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Never eat pizza with Dan Merculati. I'll tell you that. And Herb Dean's wife knows the same thing. Herb Dean's wife knows not to eat pizza with Dan. You don't eat pizza with Dan Merculati. That's all I got to say.
Hope we get Chimaev versus Imavov. So yeah, Chimaev will walk through him, right? I mean,
Well, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if I like boxing. I mean, do I just like boxing? But then BKFC, bare knuckle boxing. I mean, you can hardly get anybody to go past 4 fights. Okay, but it's also like not strategy. I thought I'd like a street fight, but actually I don't really like street fights. I mean, the technique of a real boxer is something, right?
Yeah.
But like fights, I don't know about this fight, right? But if we're talking about 2 guys laying down, shopping for a mattress with a Kamzat blanket, I mean, that's not what I'm looking for. But I know it's part of the MMA. And then takedowns are granted too much. I mean, why is it, Dana White, why do you put the rule in there to emphasize, given value to taking somebody down because everybody would be standing up. It would be kickboxing, right? So then you emphasize on taking people down. But when the whole fight is on the ground, there's got to be a rule to stand back up.
I don't know, because that seems beside the point. The whole point of mixed martial arts is that it's all the martial arts combined, right? I mean, it's including jiu-jitsu and everything, and other martial arts that take place primarily on the ground. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that, right? But it seems like we got a set pattern, right? And then you got people, oh, let's put on a show. Yeah, I know, I understand the show part too. But I'm with you, champ. It should be, if they want to just grapple the whole time, it should be that mixed martial arts, right? It started out pretty cool back in the day because one guy's going to prove karate works and the other guy's going to prove, street fighting is going to work. Okay? But back in the day, it was a lot more exciting. Now you pretty much know what you're going to get. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to get guys standing up at the beginning. And you pretty much can't submit people in the first round. And then they're too tired in the third or fourth round. I mean, we know everything. There's no surprises anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for who Nina Drama's going to roll with in a sexual manner.
Yeah.
That's the only surprise we have.
Here's how PFL can become popular, right? Right. So if PFL streamed on Friday nights on YouTube, pay-per-views $10, fighting in a ring, Pride rules, and Pride rounds as well. So 1 10-minute round and then 2 5-minute rounds. Everyone would watch PFL, but it will never happen.
Okay, so I guess there we have it. We're all caught up with the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
What is that?
So, Champ, this is what we all wait for, Champ. Champ, you got anything for this week?
Well, we got, I'm not going to say who, but someone got into the UFC data center and they got some images that I think are quite revealing. And I'm going to show these images on the show. And I apologize if they're a bit graphic for everyone, but this is what the people need to see. Okay? You ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You knew this was coming. Dana White has been nervous about Daniel Cormier's situation. And so he generated this image using his ChatGPT Plus account. Dana White, you used your personal ChatGPT Plus account to generate
oh my
this
God,
image.
ladies and gentlemen.
This is Daniel Cormier with hair, okay? This is what Dana White doesn't want you to know. Daniel Cormier is going to grow his hair. Well, he's getting hair plugs. Look at this. This is what Daniel... Let me show you something else. All right. Look at that. That's Daniel Cormier with hair plugs. Okay? Are you ready for that? You ready to see this?
I mean, Daniel Cormier is going to take over the UFC, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And he gets some nice flowing locks like that from Turkey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. He's got a turkey to save money. Look at this. This is Daniel Cormier with hair.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Now, Minty Betts, Minty Betts is bald, and Minty Betts is going to get some hair plugs from Turkey too. But we're not going to be able to reveal those pictures, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Maybe next week. So
everybody knows, right? That everybody knows Champ is bringing up a policy that the UFC has. Dana White's policy is he only hires bald people, ladies and gentlemen. And we haven't really explained what that means because, I mean, we have a smart audience here at the Fett Show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? But Dana White only hires bald people. Dana White only hires old people, ladies and gentlemen. And Daniel Cormier is sick of it, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Cormier wants to get hair plugs from Turkey. And if Daniel Cormier wants to get hair plugs from Turkey, go ahead. I say, go ahead, Daniel Cormier. That's right. Daniel Cormier is going to stand up to Dana White, and his only hires bald people, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, Minty Betts is bald, ladies and gentlemen.
It's crazy. It's terrible. But that's what Dana White does. Dana White went bald for his own rule.
That's right. Dana White's like, he's only going to hire bald people. And he's like, well, wait a minute. I got hair. So Dana White went bald. Do you know how Daniel Cormier went bald? Daniel Cormier went bald from a whole career of getting ragdolled all over the mat, ladies and gentlemen. They like if this was Daniel Cormier, right? I don't know if you can see it, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. People were ragdolling DC all over the mat his whole career, and it rubbed his hair off, ladies and gentlemen. He got ragdolled for so long, Daniel Cormier, it made him go bald, ladies and gentlemen. Well, he wants his hair back, and Dana White only hires bald people. You put the math together, okay? Daniel Cormier is going against the system, ladies and gentlemen. All the power to you, Daniel Cormier. We're all on your side, cock.
Because when Daniel Cormier gets hair plugs, and
hold on a second, champ. I'm getting a phone call. I think it might be Nina Drama.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to answer the Nina Drama call or not. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the call from Nina. Nina Drummer really wants to get a hold of Simon Fett.
Hello?
Yeah, who is this?
Simon Fett, it's Nina Drummer.
Yeah? What do you want, bitch?
Well, I just wanted to say that you're talking about me and Lorashenko, and yeah, I was in Denver with Lorashenko, and Lorashenko had a bathing suit on, and she was out in the snow, and then she was drinking a beer, and she spilled it on her chin, and I licked it off her chin, and she was hot. I love her and everything like that. But listen here, Simon Fett. I hate you, Simon Fett. You fucking...
I had to hang up on her, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Fett couldn't come up with anything on that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was a failure, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever going to start a YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pre-write stuff down, ladies and gentlemen. What else you got? What else you got, champ?
Well, I just want to go back to the Daniel Cormier thing, because I just have this image in my head of walking down the hallway at the Apex with this long flowing hair like we showed in the photos. You know, I'm going to show it again because we've got someone new in the chat. I need to make sure that they know what Daniel Cormier looks like with hair. And do not adjust your televisions. This is what Daniel Cormier will look like with hair. Okay, so the guy called Jesus Story and Talmud saying MMA plague. This is what Daniel Cormier looks like with hair. Okay, now when Dana White sees that, he's going to say, Daniel, what the fuck is that on your head? I thought we had a conversation. And Daniel Cormier is going to be like, you can't tell me what to do with my scalp. Like, this is my head. I want to have flowing locks, Dana. Do you know when the last time I used shampoo was? I was in strike force when I last had to buy shampoo. It's ridiculous. Daniel Cormier wants to use shampoo, and he has every right to do so. Okay? So, anyway, DC is all about that cake and chicken. All right. We got another scoop, all right? This was requested
Listen,
last week.
yeah. I mean, if Daniel, yeah, but if Daniel Cormier wants to use shampoo, Dana White let Daniel Cormier use shampoo.
Yeah.
Stop with this. You only hire bald people. Okay, make an exception for Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
If you're going to let people use Vaseline for weight cutting, you should be able to use shampoo. All right, so anyway, last week we were asked for our top 5 list in all of MMA, not for you casuals, but not just UFC, all of MMA. Who are the 5 hottest guys? Well, we got that list, and it's going to surprise some of you, because some of you have no idea where to look for the hot guys in MMA. So number 5, we've got the Diamond, recently retired, Dustin Poirier, handsome guy. Number 4, George St. Pierre, also bald, but quite handsome and charming. Number 3, also bald, Cyril Gane. Number 2, some people think I shouldn't have included him in the list because of the steroids. Paulo Costa, still a handsome guy. Now, number 1, Simon, who do you think the number 1 hottest guy in MMA is?
He's got to be from Denver, and he's got a six-pack, and his name is Drew Dober, a good friend of mine. Go ahead.
You're close, but you're way off. What if I told you the hottest guy in MMA was Dada 5000?
Oh, see, yeah, you got me in MMA, right? Okay, so I was just thinking the UFC.
UFC, yeah. Now that's it.
Now, is it because of Dada 5000 has a tubular snake in his pants?
That's definitely part of it. Yeah, that's a huge factor. You can sense that when you're around him. It increases his attractiveness, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And I've also got another
listen,
scoop.
Listen, that's a listen. Go ahead.
This is huge for the show, Simon. I don't know if you're ready for this.
Listen, the Simon Feck Show is ready for this. We got another scoop from the champ, ladies and gentlemen.
This is huge. So because our audience has quadrupled in size recently, we have 4 viewers. I'm now pleased to announce that we have a sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends. Now, Raid Shadow Legends is the greatest video game ever created. What you do is you assemble a team of 4 random guys and you run around the world, and every day you log in and fight and you get stuff. And if you use the code Joe Piper's Jockstrap when you sign up, you'll get access to a free Simon Feck character who has special statistics. He has plus 20% voyeurism and plus 15% body odor. So you're going to want to sign up to Raid Shadow Legends today.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time in the making, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you sign up for that, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself a Simon Feck character, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, who wouldn't? And who wouldn't want a Simon Feck character, right? People come over your house and they just walk in And then just start talking to you. Don't even say anything. If you have a Simon Thett character sitting over there in the corner, it will be conversation endless, ladies and gentlemen. Your friends will want to come over and see you, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Simon Thett character in the living room, ladies and gentlemen. And just think of your wife. Your wife will love it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's got a big pecker on it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a conversation piece or a conversation beak.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Champ, is that it?
Yeah, that's me. I'm fresh out of content.
Champ. There you go. Champ, I don't think the Ash is going to make it in, so we have the show going on. You know, I don't know how long here. Like, say, you know, an hour and a half, let's say. An hour and a half, and the Ash didn't make it into the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fair to wait 5 or 10 minutes
you hear
for
those
him.
crickets?
Yeah. When he's routinely showing up 90 minutes late, I don't think we can wait around for him.
That's right. So right here, Jesus' story in Talmud. DC is all about the cake and the chicken. That's right. The MMA guru, ladies and gentlemen, the MMA guru did a reaction video about somebody else's video, ladies and gentlemen, about DC eating chicken wings courtside at a NBA basketball game, ladies and gentlemen, and Daniel Cormier was putting it down. Now imagine that same video, ladies and gentlemen, of DC with long dreads, ladies and gentlemen. DC eating chicken wings, chicken fingers, with long dreads. That would be an entirely different video. But Dana White doesn't allow it, ladies and gentlemen, because Dana White only hires bald people, ladies and gentlemen. Bisping is the best Octagon interviewer. That's right. That's right, Jesus. Only Jesus knows that, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus knows that Bisping is the best Octagon interviewer. You know why Bisping is the best Octagon interviewer? Because he doesn't get nervous, ladies and gentlemen. Bisping doesn't get nervous interviewing fighters in the Octagon. You know why? He has the fighter over on this side. He can't see the fighter, ladies and gentlemen. That's why. He's uninhibited, ladies and gentlemen. He can't see the fighter next to him because of that stupid glass eye. Now, who would go out and get themselves a glass eye? It doesn't make a bit of sense, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? Kanato, a friend of the show, Kanato, came up with a new character. It's going to be revealed this week, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Michael Bisping character, ladies and gentlemen. And we will have the best interviewer in MMA right here on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
It's huge for the show.
You still there?
I'm still here. I'm trying to contain myself.
Yeah. You know what else would be huge for the show? A second co-host.
Yeah. Yeah. What if he was an Australian guy, and he was like quite funny?
Oh, I mean, that would be ideal. But you're not talking about Shakira. Champ, you're not talking about Shakira, are you?
No. I'm talking about a guy called Ash. But you know what?
Oh, yeah.
That's a fantasy.
Try to reach out. Yeah. Try to reach out to the Ash. Just try to reach out to the Ash and see if the Ash will come on the Simon Thett show.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought you were talking about Shakira. You know, Dennis Shakira. But I mean, I wouldn't want Shakira on the show.
No. I would leave if Shakira came. I would say I can't be in the same virtual room as you, Dennis. You've done too many things to offend me over the years, and so I will be leaving right now. But if the Ash came and joined us, I think this show would benefit tremendously. But clearly, he's too busy lying in bed, hungover, masturbating his woes away.
That's
What
right.
you reading there?
Now, listen to this, right? Listen to this. So, a regular guest on the Submission Radio show, the Dennis Shakira Talk show, a regular guest, his name is Jeb Meshew. Jeb Meshew, okay? The Simon Feck show is giving Jeb an ultimatum, okay? Jeb, the Simon Feck show, if the Ash doesn't want his position, now we told the Ash he could miss 27 shows in a row and he still won't get fired, ladies and gentlemen. But Jeb Meshew, the Simon Feck show, is giving you an opportunity to leave MMA fighting on SBN and join the Simon Feck show. Simon Feck is giving you 500 days to decide, Jeb, if you're coming over to the Simon Feck show, Jeb Meshew. Stop playing around with Dennis Shakira. And the MMA fighting on SBN. It's going to keep putting the Sewer King on there. Jose Youngs. Here's another thing too, ladies. You know what? I'm going to reveal the big news, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show. The Simon Feck show has some big news coming up, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck show is going big time here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it may take a couple months, and I'm not going to explain that part why it takes a couple months. It takes Tom Aspinall 5 months to fight, right? So you got to schedule stuff. It's going to take a couple months, ladies and gentlemen. But the Simon Feck show is going big, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the big news, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck show. The Simon Feck show is